Do you want to make the best decision ever? I know I do.
Moving forward with the Decker team. Moving forward together with the Decker team.
I'm Yetta Decker.
I'm Ken Decker.
And we're so excited that for over 30 years, we've been helping families, helping people make really good financial decisions in real estate, whether selling, buying, or investing. But probably even bigger than that, what thrills me even more is that we've been helping people thrive in their life, helping people strengthen their faith, helping people really even get their relationships back on track, flourish and heal and thrive in them. So really building, for 30 years, building life at home and at work.
Yes. Yes, and making a decision.
Yeah.
This process is really, we've started a process of figuring out the timing for a move. And for my move, I've got the reason I want to move, and now is it the right time to move to Manotick? And I'm partway through.
Yeah.
And I started with, it's a great deal. The apartment has income. It needs renovations, and I love renovating. And I would have a pride of ownership after I renovate.
So what's important to you, Ken, about having pride of ownership or having something that you're really happy to come home to, I guess?
Well, again, it's a matter of that feeling, that satisfaction when you come home after a hard day's work, that you've got a sanctuary, a place to relax, a place
so having
to
a sanctuary.
Socialize. Yeah, sometimes it's inviting others into the sanctuary. Sometimes it's for myself.
Right.
Because I'm one of those people that I like my solitude and I like people. So I got to have a mixture of both, not at the same time.
Okay.
Because when people come over and you go solitude, that's not fun for them.
No, that would be horrible. Can you imagine coming over to have a visit with Ken? And there are stories, if you go back enough years, where he's sitting having a conversation with you on the couch. And all of a sudden, you went solitude. Do you remember
not
that?
Solitude, that's a sleep.
Isn't solitude kind of a sleep?
No, solitude is going away into another room.
Okay, well, he never did that. Doesn't do that.
Or you know what else people use as solitude now? And we've been working diligently not to, is we go into our phone.
Yeah, we go into the box.
Because it's that little space. It totally absorbs you and you lose all the outside influences.
And they've actually studied now more and more and discovered that the smaller the device, the more it drags you in, right? The more you crave that solitude and that.
Right.
So that's not the kind of solitude we're talking about.
No. So it's a place of solitude and a place to host.
Okay.
Host
so
people.
we were talking about timing.
Yeah.
So what's important in relation to timing of your move to Manotick?
Okay.
About having solitude and more ability to host now rather than later.
Well, at the time, your parents, my parents are both deceased, but your parents, one of them had some skin cancer.
Yeah.
And turns out it's not a huge deal. And yet suddenly it made it real that your parents would be getting older. Your parents might need someone to be close to. And having the apartment on the side of the house actually gave an opportunity. If there was a need, we had something that we could support them with.
Right. And we even thought if something happened to one of them, then there was somewhere for the other parent to move into. So the timing piece was expedited based on the life circumstances that were happening at the time.
Right.
Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Support someone else.
Yep.
Our family. Okay. So what was important to you about being positioned house-wise? Because our previous house wouldn't have worked as well for a long-term solution. Short-term, it would have been great. But long-term, it wouldn't have been ideal with mom and dad or mom or dad with us. So what was important to you about supporting them?
That's a great question. I think it comes down to my my inner need to support people, to use the wisdom and the resources that God's blessed me with to help others.
Okay, so ultimately it was you feeling, by helping others, you were feeling or doing what? What's important about helping others to you?
Well, it's kind of like I said, God gifted me with the resources, the wisdom to build, to have a business that was working, to have the money to be able to do it. And so the timing was right in that we also had the financial wherewithal to handle this move.
Right. So you'll notice that sometimes when we're doing these questions, you're going to go past 7. You're going to go to 8. You might even go to 9 to get into what we call the red, the emotional. So typically what's going to happen, we're going to unpack kind of how we did this exercise. The question is simple. What's important about X to you? You can use the question for anything. It takes a little bit of perseverance and keeping the other person on track. You can do it for yourself. I've written out about 50 of them in my book. And what's cool is you start to see a theme. I get to see what actually is important to me because I'm making it up as I go. And then I also get to see the theme of what my real emotional drivers are. What's at the heart of everything for me?
Yeah. And I think when you get to the heart, you make the best decision.
That's the point, isn't it?
Yes. And whether it be buying a house, not buying a house, moving, buying a car, inviting friends over,
going
being
to a
friends
conference
with a certain person, going to a learning conference, going back to school, dropping out of school.
One of our friends just went back to school. One of our clients just decided in his 40s, time to go back to school, which is amazing. And so using an exercise like this will just give you the clarity. So the first 4 answers, the 1, 2, 3, 4 that are in black, that are at the bottom of the page, because if you're just catching us in the tail end, you're going to want to back to episode or segment 1 of this and look at how to set this up. But reality is 1 to 4 is in black because it's really usually more surfacey, not as poignant.
Sometimes people will go to the emotional, to the heart issue quickly.
Yeah.
But most of the time you got to get through some transactional stuff, some of the black, we call it, to get to the heart issues, which is the red. And sometimes people will stop at 5 or 6. They've hit it. And you can know when you've hit the heart issue.
Because usually what happens is little tears.
You might get
either run down the front of your face or behind the eyeballs. Right? Yeah. For me, it's often you can't see them, but boy, I know when I've hit there. And then the reality is as you're moving through the decision you've made, because you'll know whether it's the right decision or not once you see, especially the 5, 6, 7. The 1, 3, 4 is really just to get you access to the 5, 6, 7. Yeah. And then you can repeat the 5, 6, 7 whenever you're in a hard spot.
Yeah. But also, I think it's important to know that sometimes the heart says yes.
Right.
And yet your circumstances or your financial position or other people say no, like you can't afford it, or
the bank won't loan you the money, even if your heart says yes.
Right. Or it might say wait.
Right.
It might still be the best decision for you, just timing and circumstances are not there.
Right.
So you need to wait.
Right. So if you're thinking, I don't think I could do this process on my own, then you want to call the Decker team if you're thinking about a move, and we'll sit down with you. It's part of the consultative approach so that you're clear on what is important to you and that you're making the move for the right reason. So we're grateful to be your partners in growing wealth through real estate and just working together, because together we've got this.
Moving forward with the Decker team. Moving forward.